Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Web's Women.
where exposure brings strength. Good evening, my friend. It
What's
is,
going
what's
on, girl?
today? What is today? It's Wednesday Eve.
It
hmm
is. Yeah.
hmm It's Wacky
23rd.
Wednesday Eve. Wacky Wednesday Eve.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
call it wacky. Some people call it wine. Some people call it workout Wednesday. I don't know.
It's
But
all the things, that's for sure.
hmm
So,
yeah.
this is our last recording of the month.
hmm
Month is already going to be gone. As of late this week or going into the following, right?
Yeah.
And then we
Right.
I'll kick off into May next
We're
week.
going to be going into May. Woo.
Time is just going, by so quickly. It's unbelievable.
I know. I know. I don't, at first, I feel like it's still the new year. And I've even said it at work. I've
Wow.
called and I'm like, we've been talking about compliance and 401k at the beginning of the year here. I'm thinking it's not the beginning of the year here anymore, you
Yeah.
know?
But definitely time is going by really fast. Uh, and we're already late into the month of April.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let's just dive into the burning topic of
Yeah.
narcissist. I find that that is a reference that you hear a lot in a lot of people's language.
Mm-hmm.
What's, their experiences or people that they meet or who they refer to. Oh, that person's a narcissist, or oh my God, that
Mm-hmm.
person has narcissist tendencies or behaviors. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you hear and see that a lot. It's populating a lot in the reels in the social media spaces. And I think it's important to kind of shed light on narcissism and talk about maybe our own personal experiences to that, and maybe talk about some traits so that folks who haven't been exposed, which I find that very hard to believe because everyone at some point has been exposed to a narcissist. And so I'm curious for those who are listening in what that looks like for them in the comments um, on our page. But I'm going to turn it over to you, Andrea, and then to kick things off with that topic. So
Oh, yeah. Kick it off to me. Okay.
yeah, of course, because I know you're ready,
Uh,
girl.
well, I have to tell you, I had no idea what narcissism was. I didn't know what a narcissist, who they would be. I didn't identify anyone as a narcissist at
Mhm.
all until I moved back to Western New York, unfortunately. I think it was because of I know, but I think it was because of you know, I think it was because of things personally that were going on with me, with a friend who I liked and took advantage. And I think that I didn't even realize what was happening until someone said to me, he's a narcissist. And I was like, what? And I Googled like a mother effer. I'm not going to lie, because I was like, what? Like, so I started looking at like, what are the traits? Like, what did I miss? Like, I'm pretty good at like judging people, but was I overtaken by the attraction that I might have had? Like, where did this happen? Like, where did I lose sight of what was going on? How did I miss it for over a year?
And if I can interject, you make a very good point about sometimes we miss a lot of cues and clues and
Mm-hmm.
signs because we are so emotionally invested in the person, or
Or there's a
very
lot of trust, right? You
right.
you
Like,
you
you're
have
not going to
trust,
right. You're not going to
right? Like,
that part. Hmm.
yeah, I mean, there's trust there, and then there's love there, and then there's care there, and then you know what I mean? And then when there's others involved as well, like say everybody's got a family, right? Most people have kids, right? And you start to get involved with kids and like everything else. And yeah, you kind of I think you lose sight of what went on until it's either you're out of it or you're getting out of it or you're just all of a sudden recognizing. But unfortunately, many people get sucked in so bad that they don't even
Mm.
know what to do. And I will tell you, when I started looking at um, what happened to me, right? And what not, I shouldn't even say what happened to me. I allowed these things and I didn't realize what was happening. And I didn't realize that I was being taken advantage of. I just didn't. Um, and I think a lot of it is because a narcissist will typically let you believe that they care about you, right? So you hear the words love bombing in relationships all the time when it comes to like a relationship.
Mm.
Even if it's a friendship, though, even as a friend, there's that, that they make you believe that they care about you.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's the love bombing stage typically, right? Um, and then you believe that they care about you. They wouldn't hurt you, right? So they might not want to do anything that's outside of, what their um interest or agenda is, right? They have an interest, they have an agenda, and they will be kind to you when they want something,
Mm.
right? I didn't realize that that was what was going on. But then when you want something in return or you need help, they completely ignore you or say, no, do it
Mhm.
yourself, right? So that was what was going on with me. And I just didn't realize, I think, that I didn't realize it was really a one-way street. There was no two ways going on. It was a one-way street. It was all um there was just a lot of, acting differently in public than in private, right? A lot of that's different. Um there's the lack of sympathy, right? And empathy that doesn't even
That's
exist.
huge. That's
That's
huge.
huge and it doesn't even exist, but they can make you believe that they care and there's empathy. They, you know what I mean? They make you believe that there's care and empathy there, but then when you really dissect it, it's not there. It's non-existent. There's no care in the world. It's just all about me, all about what I want, all about what I need, and I don't really give a fuck about you.
Mm.
That's what ends up happening with a narcissist. Um, they blame everybody else for their problems, right? Everybody, it's not their
Yep,
own.
yep.
There's just a lot. Just a lot involved that
You
I
know,
didn't see.
yeah. It's a lot of traits. And, what I find is that everyone has had an experience with a narcissist. And I'll give an example. Maybe you have a family member that's a narcissist. And so what
Mm-hmm.
happens with that is, most people just um appease a narcissist, doesn't
Right.
want to rock the boat,
Right.
leave them alone. If I say something, it's gonna get explosive. And they know this. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that um the best thing to do is not engage with a narcissist
Right.
because that is what drives them nuts.
Yeah.
When you are not engaging with them, and I find too that they want to be the center of attention. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you said, me, sense of
Yeah.
entitlement, over exaggerates,
Mm-hmm.
with their successes.
Mm-hmm.
Envy. There's a lot of jealousy that comes with narcissism.
There is. There is.
And it's
Yeah.
very, like, to me, I can be a lot of things, but there's not one jealousy spirit that lives in my body because I don't have anything to be jealous of. And I am
Yeah. I'm
so
with you.
grateful that I don't have that because
Mm.
I know that sometimes people can't help it for whatever their reasons are, but I think that's just all roots of evil when you're jealous of someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing good comes out of that. And I think in this age of information, we are required to protect ourselves. So, what happens when you recognize that someone has narcissist behaviors or narcissistic behaviors? Um, you just disengage and you
Mhm.
keep them at arm's length. It's not to say, you'll never speak to them if you see them somewhere in public and you have mutual friends. Hi, hello, and that's where it ends. It's
Mhm.
we're gonna hang out. It's not you and I
Right.
gonna be, doing anything outside of that.
Mhm.
But you have to protect yourself
Mhm.
because if you don't and you tolerate it's very harmful to yourself. it will then inflict harm on your own self. You start questioning yourself, you get angry. You
Well, and yeah, just so you like, one of the narcissist's goals are to push everybody else away so that you are almost like only in their world.
yeah,
Right. And so you start to, as the person that is receiving all of this behavior, right? You start to push people away because your only focus is on that person.
yeah,
And they make it so that they don't even realize, I don't even think they realize they're doing it, but it is part of that behavior where you start realize, like, you push people away and you start focusing on just that narcissist, right? And what they have going on, and then you get consumed in their world. And in the end, like, a lot of this is abuse. It ends up being abuse in a relationship. And it can even be as a friend, right?
yeah.
Even with a friend or even a family member, they want, their words are telling one thing, but their actions are telling you something else every fucking time. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Their words say one thing, their actions say something else. That is what
And
happens in
they will
family and friends. It doesn't matter.
agree. And they have no accountability.
Right.
They're never wrong.
Right.
It's never going to be an apology from a narcissist. It's
No,
never going to be a reflection. None of that. So,
no.
um,
If there
yeah,
is an apology, it's to benefit them for
yeah,
one reason or another.
yeah.
It's not there because they genuinely care or give a fuck. It's because they deep down really just are going to need something soon. And,
Yeah.
it's, yeah,
And I think it's very
it's,
important, that I mean, we've always talked about boundaries. I'm not going to get into all that, but you have to
yeah,
set that boundary and you have to stand up for yourself. And I
yeah.
think that
Mm-hmm,
oftentimes people don't know how to do that. And so
mm-hmm,
if you're listening in and this resonates with you, or you're having those experience, whether it's a coworker, a family member, a friend, a partner,
mm-hmm.
um, no. Remember, you cannot fix narcissistic people. They,
Yeah,
you just don't. You
you
can't.
can't. No, you cannot.
The world is about them and only them, and you are
Mm-hmm.
only as good as the last thing you did for them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just,
I mean, and that's with everything. I think if you don't recognize who you are in your behavior and
yeah,
try to fix it, then you will never get past that you are. That's what you are. It is what it is.
yeah.
It's in your soul, basically,
And
because
they, they they want to go after someone that's a little more like, you know, that is passive, that is, more calm.
hmm
They're kind of like predators. Lack of a better word.
hmm
Um, I know I've had those experiences, not a lot, but enough to know, yeah, no. And that's why I'm very selective who I have in my circle of influence, who I
hmm
associate with.
yeah.
Um, as you know, my circle keeps getting smaller, and that's a-okay by me. Because at
hmm
the end of the day, um, you know, at this stage of my life, I require to be very selective of who's in it and
hmm
who I allow in, because my time is valuable. And I actually posted, I don't know when, not too long ago, that time is non-refundable.
yeah.
Last thing I need to do is be spending time, with anyone that is going to not bring out the best in me, that's a headache, that's toxic, or, I have to rethink if I am engaging with a narcissistic person, what am I doing? Because I can't get that.
hmm
That's it, you know?
right.
So, I
Yeah.
think it's very important to stay, uh,
Yeah.
that's the
Well,
message.
that is the message. Stay aware. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I had no idea even what 2 years ago. I didn't even know what the definition was. Didn't have a clue, unfortunately. And in the last 2 years, unfortunately, I have come across quite a few that I thought I knew, unfortunately. And
That's unfortunate.
I learned the hard way and I started reading more and I started understanding more, and I started reflecting on what I did wrong, and how I, what did I do wrong? What did I allow that shouldn't have been allowed? What did I miss? How did I not understand that this was happening? You know what I mean? And, you know, what blinders did I have on?
Mm,
That was the biggest question. And I think a lot of times we have blinders, and we want the blinders because we don't want to believe that someone doesn't care about you. You know
mhm,
what I mean? You just don't want to think that someone, family, friend, whoever, you just don't want to think that they don't care about you, because how could they not? Right? They spend this time with you, and like they ask you for help with things, so like you feel needed, right? And that's the goal, is they want you to feel needed. So I mean, who doesn't want to be needed, and who doesn't want to be loved and cared for?
mhm, mhm.
Right? And it's also reciprocated. And you have to pay attention to those things. Are they reciprocated? That
Right.
is the biggest red flag out there. Is it reciprocated? Your friendship, your care, your love, your support. Is it reciprocated? If it's not, and it's only talk the talk, and you aren't walking the fucking walk, then you are done. You're out, but gone. And it's got to be boundaries for your own sanity and for your own safety in the end, because it's only going to bring you peace by stepping back and stepping
Yeah.
away. And
Yeah.
however they feel, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who cares if the narcissist is angry, or, you know what I mean? Or it gets under their skin that you're avoiding them or not talking. Who cares? That's not on, that's not your responsibility anymore. Once you understand
Mhm.
what's been going on in your life, you have to separate,
Yeah, 100%.
and it's for your own peace. So it
100.
is,
And
I
I tell
mean,
you, I've observed, just behaviors in people, not directed towards me, but in others that I care for. Um, and if you could do that to them, you could do it to me. So I stay very far away.
yeah,
Um, not going there, not going down that road.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
because those people are good people. Why do you behave that way? So to me, I'm very observant. I'm very cautious. There was a time, and I think a lot of that comes with maturity and wisdom, that no matter how a person was packaged, I always felt give them a chance. Everyone
yeah.
deserves a second chance. Um, However, I've learned in doing that is through the cost of myself.
Mhm.
And people don't appreciate those second, third, or fourth chances because they don't care.
Yeah.
Um,
But if you have to give them, if you have to give all those chances, then
right.
that's also
Thank
telling
you
you
back.
something's wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
I only learned the hard way. I learned the
I
hard way.
agree.
And,
I agree.
and
And
I, everybody said to me, why do you keep doing for this person? What is your problem? And I just kept saying, like, I believe in his heart, that it is like, I don't think he's evil. I mean, I don't think he's evil, but in the end, there was no care for me whatsoever. None. Zip, zilch, none. Even when I needed help on my worst day. Zero, zilch, no help.
it's not even normal because a stranger
So,
would help you if they
well,
saw you
you
struggling,
know,
right?
but it
So,
but you learn the hard way. That's my
right,
my point. You
right.
learn the hard way. Someone has to stab you in the heart multiple times. For me, someone has to stab me in the heart multiple times for me to really create a boundary. And my boundary is not, typically my boundary is cut off complete. Like, that is my boundary. Like,
Yeah,
there is nothing. There's nothing there. There isn't
yeah.
going to be, like, it's cut off. I can, you can live right next door to me, and I'll look at you and turn my head the other way. I will not engage. You could be my neighbor and I don't care. Like, you could be right there. And I can easily turn my face the other way and just create my boundary, because I have to. At some point you have to.
Yeah,
And
there's
I think,
nothing wrong with safeguarding yourself.
right. And there's a lot of people in relationships that, you're living with someone that is that way. You know what I mean? And so if you're living with a narcissist, it's hard to see because you're there, right? So the littlest thing they might do for you, the tiniest, tiniest thing might seem like, oh, they care. Now they care. See, they do care, right? Then you start questioning yourself. And people in
Always,
relationships
always.
constantly talk about how they constantly question themselves, that it must be them.
Well, I will tell you that it's a known fact for those who are in a relationship with a narcissist. Typically, they feel they're the ones that are losing their minds. That's how well a narcissist plays, the game.
Yeah.
The person starts questioning their own sanity, thinking maybe I'm crazy, maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm overreacting because they're so good. They're so good at twisting things around
Right.
to
Right.
make that person feel like, well, damn, maybe it is me, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's
Right.
not.
Right.
It's not. It's
It's
like,
not.
yeah.
Yeah. So don't
But,
question yourself. If you're
yeah.
questioning it, there's a reason you're questioning it.
Yeah, you remember we talked about this too, in previous recordings. Always trust your gut. Your intuition does not lie.
Yeah.
Period. You don't got a good feeling,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's factual. you
Right.
So,
No, that is the truth.
yeah.
Just like, my gut told me on Friday that I should go shopping on a shopping spree, and I did. That's what my gut. I posted something on your gut feeling last Friday. Yeah.
Oh, how funny.
And I did go and spend quite a few buckers. Yep.
Yeah, you
Sure did.
did. Yeah, you definitely deserve that. Um, yeah, no, I think that this
Yeah.
was an important,
Message for sure.
yeah, and definitely an important topic to kind of, you know, touch upon because we have to, especially we're coming up, and then on our next recording, it's, May kicks off Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean,
Be aware, people. Be aware.
mental health
Yeah.
it's huge,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. But this plays a part in that for people that are,
Yeah,
that are
they,
living surrounded by, whether you're living with or you have a friend,
but that's
I
a
mean,
mental health disorder too, being a narcissist,
that is
FYI, look it up.
that.
Because
Yes.
there is disorders related to narcissism
Yeah.
and studies and research and yeah, so
So either one end or the other. Yeah.
yeah,
There's some issues upstairs.
love them from afar, keep them in your prayers, just stay away and safeguard your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amen. Okay.
As always, it's always great to catch up with you, Andrea.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And remember, everyone, you're listening to Webb's Women.
Where exposure brings strength.